If you're just joining us, just to reset here on 11 Alive News, this is Apalachee High School in Barrow County in Winder. It's off U.S. Highway 29 or University Parkway. Reports of shots fired at the school. Those reports brought a hard lockdown. Students were taken out of the school. They were all together on the football field and in the bleachers around the football field. We have been told that parents and loved ones are able to come onto campus grounds now to reunite with students, and they can leave for the day. There are still dozens of law enforcement there. We see a group there standing outside of the building. We've seen a number of them walking into the building as well, as we get a different vantage point here from our sky tracker over the school. This is a school of 9th through 12th grade, about 1,900 students, one of 2 high schools in that county. This school's been open since 2000, a big campus there, a big campus as they are starting the school year, and this is certainly not what anybody would ever want to see as a new school year coming off a Labor Day weekend holiday.
And just to give you some more perspective here, our assignment desk was hearing about this story right before we came on air at 11, so we're coming up on 11:40. While it appears just from the body language and the current response and knowing that that medical helicopter has already left the scene with 1 person on it, it is still not confirmed if this entire situation is actually complete, if it is all wrapped up and now we're in response mode. So we're also waiting to hear word of that, but this has been going on for upwards of an hour now from when we first started hearing about it and sending someone there to check on it. Chopper has arrived on the scene. We see people are still, having this active presence here. And as they panned around, we saw that there was an emergency vehicle set up at multiple entrance and exit points there at the school. So it's also important to note that we cannot confirm that this situation has actually concluded.
Yeah, we don't know if there still is somebody inside the school, perhaps. There are just a lot of questions right now. I think the perspective from the Sky Tractor gives you maybe a sense or mood outside, but that's a very big building. We don't know if investigators have been able to go in. Typically, protocol would be able to go in and kind of do a sweep. You go room to room to room, which will take a lot of time in a building of this size with that many classrooms, but there is procedure and protocol that they'll have to follow. And as Aisha said, we're not certain what happened inside and if that has come to a resolution. And so active in many ways. We saw that mobile command center that most law enforcement departments have, that kind of mobile command unit. Looks like a big RV has now arrived on scene and is in sort of what's becoming a staging area near the flagpole there. And that's also where we saw the medical helicopter, and we saw 1 person on a stretcher being taken into that helicopter, and the helicopter taking off about 30 minutes ago or so. So again, a live look at Apalachee High School in Winder as we wait for more information from local law enforcement about what has happened. But again, perhaps one of the most important pieces of information we can relay is that parents are able to pick up kids now. We have seen from a couple of different vantage points from our Sky Tracker here, just a massive amount of cars of people trying to get to the school to reunite with students there. It's just a matter of time getting them in the entrances, being able to manage sort of the traffic of that and the logistics of picking up those kids and taking them home. But that feels like an encouraging layer of this story, that those reunions can happen and families can start to take students home as law enforcement continues to do their work.
Just sort of doing a little research here, and I'm on a site called Statista, and I just wanted to know, because it seems like when we hear about these school shootings, you hear about them in other parts of the country, and then you're like, wait a minute, now we have one that possibly happened here at home, because this hard lockdown was put into place after reports, I want to stress that, after reports of gunfire. So this site reports here, as of July 11th, 35 incidents of school shootings were recorded in the U.S. in 2024. That goes for K through 12 and college campuses nationwide. That's in comparison to 82 recorded in 2023. And so we are now just entered September, and those numbers are on pace to sort of, round out about the same way. But this is just a conversation that we've had to have so much more. It's a conversation that's been highly politicized. It is something more so for parents where you say, you put all that stuff aside. I just want to know when I send my child on that bus or drop them off at that school that they are going to return home safely. And that is on the top of minds for all of these parents who are lining University Drive right now. They're in Winder trying to see their child's face after these reports have come out.
And just a moment ago, here we see this perspective of all those students on the track, and those are the moments that just give you the pit in your stomach, because we have seen that image at different schools in different parts of the country as students have, for whatever reason, had to evacuate high schools and be outside and find those safe spaces. We have been talking about that medical helicopter that arrived on scene and the person taken on a stretcher into that chopper. We've been talking about Grady being a level 1 trauma center, the one in Metro Atlanta. There's also a level 1 trauma out of Northeast Georgia Medical in Gainesville. That might be another option. We're on the phones trying to confirm where that patient would have been taken by medical helicopter. No information on how that person is doing or potential injuries. Just wanted to say that. Of course, as we get any information, we'll let you know, but we want to be cautious because in these kinds of scenarios, there is a lot flying around, a lot of rumors flying around, and misinformation, very important. We're just going to share with you what has been confirmed by multiple sources to make sure that you have accurate information as these kind of stories unfold. There is a lot of information flying around.
All right, so we showed you, Cheryl, that huge view of these parents lining University Drive outside the school because the all clear has been given for the students to be released to their parents. It is causing traffic jams in every direction. However, we have sent 11 Alive's Molly Oak there. She is arriving within minutes. We're going to get to her on the ground as soon as they get set up, sort of, scope out the scene, ask a few questions, seeing if they could give us some more information, because we are just sort of talking you through the images that we're seeing as our assignment desk managers and crew sort of work the phones there. So trying to work the story from all angles. We even have producers who are off the clock who happen to be in this community sort of giving us the information, including that in Northeast Georgia and Gainesville also having that level 1 trauma center. So we are seekers of all information and we are on top of that for you right now, but just really want to sort of bring you what looks like a sense of calm now in this scenario. The students are all in one safe area. Law enforcement is all over the place. And so at least we have that to report to you. But again, it is uncertain if the situation is 100% over.
And that is the perspective of what we believe is sort of a mobile command center. That area on the grounds by the flagpole is where most of the law enforcement vehicles are, the ambulances, that mobile command center, and that is where the medical helicopter had taken off. I'm kind of watching to see what kind of movement, to your point, Aisha, about parents actually getting into the school and getting closer to the football field to reunite. There was a moment about 15 minutes ago, we saw this incredible image of parents wrapping up their kids in their arms. In that moment, you not only heard that they're okay, but you know it because you see it. And we know there are so many parents trying to get to their kids right now. Hopefully they'll be able to get people through as quickly as possible, because that waiting, whether you know in your mind it's okay, it's still so hard to wait to have that moment where you actually lay eyes on your child and know they're okay. There's that lineup of cars, parents who got the call at work, got the call at home that they needed to come and get their kids, and we assume those are probably parents there walking across the field. Just get out of the car and walk to the field.
Yeah, because at this point, it's going to take a while for a car to navigate this space.
Whatever you need to do to get to them as fast as you can, right?
Yeah, and at this moment, that's all they care about. And this school with 1,900 students, first day back from a long holiday weekend, that is a lot of students to try to get back to their parents. And this is just one of 2 high schools there in this district, and so it is just one of those heartbreaking moments where you just want to feel a sense of peace. Not sure where those law enforcement officers are jetting off to, but we see them hopping in their vehicles.
It's interesting because you wonder what you were saying about what kind of response is what we're seeing now sort of a part two as an investigative response to maybe something, as we see a line of cars and some law enforcement leaving the school and going wherever they get the call next.
Yeah, Chopper has been doing a great job of sort of helping us navigate the scene from multiple points, because for a high school, 1,900 students, this is a pretty big campus there. So we see them sort of racing down the road. You guys are watching this with us live as we just sort of sit in this moment, in this scenario together as this all unfolds in real time.
It's like watching the law enforcement response and you think, well, what call came in? What information are they moving on?